Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Ashley and I hope you're having a great day. So today I am going to be showing you guys a full fall Thanksgiving party makeup look. I'm going to be using some glitters, foundations, all the things, and I'm just going to show you guys how I do it and how I get ready. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pull my hair back and we'll get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be going in with after my moisturizer is foundation. I am going to be using this foundation here. It is the JOA Perfect Complexion BB Cream in the shade Nude. So I honestly just apply this to my face. I don't, so I just kind of zigzag here and there. And then I always add a little on my chin as well. Then I'm going to take a damp beauty blender and work that in. Okay, so I have that on and blend it in. It's really very pretty. It has really good coverage, I think. It's a little dark for me. I use it mostly when I'm self-tanned, but it works. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Now I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Light Peach, and I'm going to just highlight my whole face and a piece of hair. And again, damp beauty blender, and just pat that all in. Okay, now that that's all done, I'm going to take the CoverGirl Clean pressed powder in the shade Light Ivory. And I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush, pat it all in, and set all of this down. Okay, so I have that done. Now for bronzer. I am going to be using the Casey Holmes X Physician Formulas palette for the blush, bronzer, and highlight. But you can use any bronzer you have, any highlight, any blush, or any blush, all that kind of stuff. I just really like this one. It's just convenient and easy to use. So I'm going to be going with the Butter Bronzer in Deep Bronze. They sell that pretty much everywhere, I think. And I'm going to just start right by my ear, go up my temple. And I will go a little heavy on the bronzer just because we are, doing full glam. And then if you need to go down the chin, blend everything together, you can do that too. And then I always like to add it on my nose just to make it look a little bit more like sun-kissed tan. Okay, so from the same palette, I'm going to be using the blush in the shade Copper Cabana. I do try to focus my blush kind of back a little ways too. And then I put just a little bit on the nose as well, just again, kind of sun-kissed, like you maybe been a little sunburnt, just out in the sun. And last but not least from this palette, I am going to be using the highlight. It was a limited edition highlight, so I'm sure it's not around anymore, but it is called Just Beachy. Any kind of champagne highlight will work. And we're just going to do that on the, basically, whole entire face. Okay, so that is the base products. That is my, all the base things. And so I'll give you guys a close-up. I really like it. I think it looks really pretty, really nice and warm. If you, if you put too much bronzer, blush, anything like that, you can always go back in with the first powder, the setting powder that you use, and just kind of blend it all together if you need to soften it up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my eyebrows now. I am going to be using the Wet n Wild Retractable Eyebrow Pencil in the shade Medium Brown. Medium Brown. And usually what I do is I will just kind of start on the very top and kind of draw, usually what I will do is I just kind of start at the top. Here, I'll get a little closer. So you guys can see. I start at the top and just kind of make a light line on top. And then I will just do the same on the bottom. And then just kind of lightly fill it in. And don't do as much in the very, very front here because I just want those to be really light. Okay, now for the other side. And just so you know, brows are occasionally relatives, never sisters, never twins, okay? Your brows don't have to be identical. And again, I'm going to start on the top and just make a line. And again on the bottom. And then you just kind of fill in the middle. And again on that front part, I just leave it not as dark. You want the darkest part of your brows to be on the very end. Okay, so I'm gonna take a spoolie now and just kind of run that through to blend everything together. And at this point, you can kind of check them over, see if you need one side darker to match, even a little better. Look fine to me. Brows are not like my ultimate end game. I don't fuss over brows. They are what they are. It's no big deal. This is the Brow Gel Control Freak by NYX. And I just run that through just to kind of control any wild hairs, but it's not a necessary step. Okay, so the face is totally done other than lips and eyes. Okay, so for my eyes, I think what I'm going to be using is this Wet n Wild Color Icon 5 mini palette Camo Flaunt. This glitter right here is calling my name. You can see it a little better. Anyway, so I'm going to be using that, and I'm going to just use the rest of the palette to kind of just make a look. The first thing I like to do for any eyeshadow palette is to set my eyelids. This does not have a setting shade, like just a creamy shade, so I will just use my setting powder that I used on a flat brush and just set the eyelids in case, you know, there's any creasing or any stickiness that might not allow this color to blend out. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to be taking this very first light taupey shade, and I'm just going to put it on a fluffy brush. There is quite a bit of kick up in the pan, but I don't mind that. Just knock it off, blow it off. And then I'm going to start here in the V, the outer V, and in the crease. And I'm just going to slowly build that shade up. And this is going to be more of the transition shade to help any other shades that you put down blend together. And you can just slowly add all this together. Until you have it to the desired depth that you want. And the most important thing about any eyeshadow look, especially one that's like got multiple colors or glitters or whatever, is just to blend. The best way to get an eyeshadow look to look right is to just blend it all together. And that just takes time. You just gotta take your time, back and forth, circle motions, windshield wiper motions, and it will come together. You also want to use a light hand. So when you're using your eyeshadow brush, I tend to hold like out towards the end. That makes it easier to have a lighter hand when you're blending it together. Okay, so now I'm going to be going in with a smaller fluffy brush, and I'm going to be using this darkest brown here, And I'm going to add that to my brush, kick off any excess that might be on there. This, and you know, you can blow on it, whatever you want to do. This is the darkest shade that I'm going to be using, and so I want to be really careful as to where I put it and how much pigment I put on at first. You can always add more pigment. You can't always take off pigment, so just got to be careful. And then this is just going to focus there on the outer V. And so what I like to do is just kind of stamp on that darkest shade first, and then I will start to blend it. And again, it's okay if it's a lighter shade, like if it's okay if it's takes you a while to build it up, because you would much rather build it up and it look good at that point versus putting too much on and not being able to blend it out. I will pull this shade through my crease as well, but just there at the crease. I won't go too high with it, just right there. And then again, just want to pat it on before you start to blend it out. Smoky. Okay, so something else you can do too, if you feel like it's not going to blend very well, is you just take a regular brush that has no product on it, and then just use that, and that will help diffuse it without adding any product, without adding any product to your lid. I'm loving this. Okay, so now I'm actually going to take a smaller brush, like a pencil brush, and I'm going to take both of those two colors, the taupey shade on this end, the dark shade on this end, and I am going to run them on my lower lash line, because when you do whatever colors you put on the top, you always want to put on the bottom as well. Now the darker color, I'm going to try to get as close to my lash line as possible, because I just want that to be really, really close, not too blown out. Try to get a little closer for you guys so that you can see. Okay, this is where the fun part comes in. Okay, so at this point, it's time for glitter. Now, you could very easily use a glitter glue. If you haven't, I don't. And I don't really mind glitter fallout on my face just because I don't care. It's whatever. So I am going to take this glitter shade on my ring finger. There is going to be fallout, so I'm going to actually just kind of okay, so now what you're going to do is you are just going to tap that onto your lid. If you tap it, you will have less fallout than if you were to like drag it, but I don't really think there's any way to avoid the fallout unless you use a glitter glue. I just don't have one. Oh, this is so pretty. So stinking pretty. Okay, so there is a little fallout. Again, it's not a big deal for me. I'll just take my powder brush, kind of pinch it there, and then just quickly sweep it away. Oh, that is so freaking pretty. Oh, well, that's okay. Question is that good enough glitter? Do I want more glitter? I think I want a little more glitter on this side. Okay, so the glitter's on. I'll give you a close look. It's gorgeous. I do have some glitter there on the inner corners. That's as much glitter as this is gonna get. As far as the bottom lash line, I'm not gonna put any glitter actually on it. And then I'm going to take this LA Girl Glide Gel Liner in the shade Champagne. If I had a darker shade, I would use it, but this is the only one that I have. Just to kind of pop that lower lash line even more. Okay, so at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my setting spray. I'm going to take my setting spray, which is the Wet n Wild Natural Finish, and just give it all a good spray. Kind of fan that in. Okay, so I have just put the setting spray on. I'm going to pat this in. Okay, so I'm going to curl my lashes and then add mascara. I would normally do false lashes as well, but I'm not going anywhere and my son just woke up, so I don't really have the time to mess with putting those on. Mascara is on, and last but not least, our lips, and I'm going to be using the Physician Formula Butter Gloss in, actually I'm not, I lied. I'm not going to do that. I am going to put on the ColourPop matte lipstick and strip. I don't remember what it's called. Okay, so this is the final look. This is a super glam, well, maybe for some people, Thanksgiving look. Very pretty. I love it. Cool toned. It's great. It didn't take very long to do, and I really enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you did for Thanksgiving. Do you have a lot of parties to go to, a lot of family events? I hope so. I know we have some family stuff, so I'm excited about that. And thanks for watching this video. Now, I hope you guys have a great day. Please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.